was sitting there watching Krusty's drinking beers at this house in Paris, California, and I was like, you know what, dude? Let's go out to Richie tomorrow, and we're gonna hit Scorpion. It's like a step up that Vinny built for flipping, so it's like real lofty, perfect, steep lip, and then and he goes, yeah, you're tripping. I said, no, seriously, dude, I'm gonna pull back on this 450 because I said worst case scenario, I under rotate, I bail, land on my feet, I'll be fine. If I over rotate and land on my feet, I'll be fine, or I'm gonna just land it perfect. And and I called a few people, and I kind of was like, someone told me don't pull that hard, and I thought, what the fuck? I was gonna pull as hard as I could, really, but I kind of half-assed pulled it. It didn't come around, and I bailed, landed on my feet, and just kind of like bruised my hip or whatever, but it wasn't too bad. And then once my friends are TIG welders, they TIG welded my subframe back straight and just chicken wired some shit back, like my brake pedal. And then I went back for on the pipe 7, and I knew if I pulled harder it'd rotate, and I flipped it perfect.
Let's kick this thing
All right,
off.
we're live with Colby Raha. Welcome to the Crusty Demons chaos.
Honored to be here, boys. Thank you for having me.
Good to have you, Colby. And this is probably one of the first times that we've met Colby. Colby came over a couple of weeks ago to my house. And Dana, you're meeting Colby for the first time.
Yeah, I've been sucking up to him off air a little bit, telling him how Colby's probably one of my favorite riders at the current time, and where we come from, snowboarding and Crusty and whatever kind of the lifestyle. Seeing people come around full circle and like living that lifestyle, and then what I mean. It's like, man, pretty much the rock stars in the house. And another whole intriguing thing is I've been a freak about electric crap, like ever since back in the day of Crusty trying to fly cameras before drones with all these stupid fucking planes. I don't know if you can see them, but
yeah.
Anyways,
I think that Dana crashed every single one of those.
Yeah, of course. But the whole point of it is to see
when we're filming,
to see you ripping on the electrics and see what you're doing with the electrics too, and embracing that shit. Like, that shit's pretty impressive to me. I know people are like, oh, fuck on the fence, and oh, fucking, like, I don't care what the fuck people say about them. I think it's cool,
Yeah. But I think there's a place for them in man, I've been hanging down in Dana Point, shredding around with Bruce Irons, and we're just ripping all over the place, bar hopping, ripping down, parking lot or by the golf course. And no one gives a shit because they're dead silence. And, we could ride at night. I fire up the lights in my backyard here in Colton. I have a half acre, and I got a freestyle ramp, a couple back there, a ramp van, and we'll shred it like 1 o'clock in the morning. Me and my boys will just have a good time, and there's no noise. So I'm a fan of them. They rip, they haul ass. That's cool. But then there's something to just filling up your gas tank out in the desert and shredding 50 miles with a couple Gatorades of gas in your backpack and a couple of beers with your boys and just trail riding. You can't beat that either with a gas bike. So, yeah, man, I'm a fan of anything with a throttle that hauls ass with 2 wheels. So nothing against them.
Yeah, right.
A question for you, Colby. How old were you when you first got on a dirt bike?
I think I was about 3 on a PW, just riding around my street outside my parents' house. And then I think around 4, I was already kind of racing at LACR in Palmdale. And then I think at 5, I was already qualifying to go to Loretta's. My dad's way into it, dude. Full-blown moto head. Guy's like an encyclopedia of moto. And I am too, man. That's all we do. So that, and then racing BMX, that's what my dad did. So just already, as soon as I was a little old enough, just already riding.
Did you race BMX as well?
Yeah, yep. I grew up racing BMX at No Mercy in LA, next to LACR in Palmdale.
Yeah.
It was an old BMX track. My dad's from Chicago. He grew up racing like national BMX stuff in Midwest. So yeah, that's kind of it, man.
Nice. When did you guys come out to California?
Well, I was born in California. My dad, when he was 19, moved out to California, rode his
Okay.
motorcycle out here, met my mom, and then yeah, man, it was just full blown moto.
And you were born what, near Temecula? Is in that area or?
No, I was born up in Acton, which is like right near
Oh,
Palmdale. It's a little town, like horse town. It's like Mike Kudrowski, Kyle Lewis, Damon Huffman. They're all
uh-huh.
kind of like in Acton. It's a good little town with some hills, so a lot of hill riding, like rutted corner tracks and stuff. We wouldn't even have to go to a track to train. We just go straight out to the hills and rail corners, learning how to ride ruts.
Nice. And when
Now,
you got
now,
into like the pro stuff, uh, did you start meeting guys like maybe Deegan or Twitch, or how did that come about?
No, so I raced till I was like 13. I think my parents split up when they were 12, and I stayed with my dad most of the time to pursue racing. And
Yeah.
it was right around like '06, the economy fell out, and then it went all four strokes. So bikes were real expensive, and I had to basically try to get a factory ride or like some support moving from 80s to 250s. But all
Yeah.
that all at once, my shoulder kept popping out at like Loretta's and Ponca City and stuff when we were motoing. I had good results, but nothing to get a factory ride, I guess, or whatever. With all
Uh-huh.
that going on, I basically just my dad was dating chicks, my mom was dating dudes. I couldn't stand either of them, so I just said, all right, the hell with it. I'm gonna go live with friends, and I basically was like, I'm ready to do my own thing, and moved out there to try to turn pro in BMX. So I did that for like 3-4 years.
Uh-huh.
So I was living with friends in ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th grade, and then graduated, and then I got a job construction, which that was why I started getting back into moto. It's kind of over BMX. I still love it, but I just was like, I want to ride moto. So I got a job,
Uh-huh.
made some money, bought a van, started racing. And then racing was so expensive trying to handle it all on my own with whatever bills, checks, and stuff I was getting from construction that I ended up free riding for fun and not really giving a shit. And free riding just snowballed quickly into meeting guys like Twitch. Really, it was I was riding with Vinny Carbone in Ritchie Canyon, shoveling all the no-namer jumps before anybody knew. Like they had the old canyon, but it was like the new jumps. No one knew where they were. They were like a few canyons over, and they were secret. And only like Vinny Carbone and his crew,
Yeah.
Brad Murray, a couple of those dudes out there, Heavy Kev, they were shoveling, and I got in with them through Evan Hall, and we would shovel. And then I knew just hanging out there, putting in work for like 6 months, not really getting photos or clips or anything, just earning my spot, is when Twitch would come out to film his movie. And I was able to ride with those dudes. I looked up to those dudes. Like Bierman came out; he's older than me, and I was doing my thing, backflipping without a foam pit out there on some of those big step ups. And I was flipping from BMX. I knew how to flip a bicycle, so I treated it the same way. Heavy bicycles, how I felt, and pulling them around and stuff. So that was all kind of how I met everyone. But then Link Ogle, Larry, came out, and because he's friends with Vinny Carbone, I met Larry. And when I met
yeah.
Larry, he basically was like, when quarter pipe became a thing in X Games, Link hit me up, DM me, said, hey, come out to Militia, train here. He said, don't bring any camera dorks, basically like saying, like, don't come out here to get clout. Don't come out here to try to be like shooting at Militia. He said, put in work. And I said, I want to hit the
That guy
quarter pipe,
behind me.
and I want to show everyone how to boost. Yeah, Link's behind you, huh, John?
He's right
Right there.
there.
Yeah.
I got a
Yeah.
question for you. Okay, going back to Vinny Carbone. Um, First off, at Ritchie Canyon, spending time at the canyon, like, did you hit Kamikaze?
Kamikaze, dude. Which one was that? Was that the old canyon that they kind of got everyone? They like
That
Right.
was
zonked
the
off.
that was the big face wall over by the school. It had the big drop in with
Oh
the big face.
no. That's the one.
That
Seth
was
came
the
down
way.
that big canyon, rode across that field, and
Oh
boosted
yeah.
that big endo.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
the hill is called Swanson Hill. I made that one. I was the first one to go down that hill because, like, you know how you got to claim something. But
yeah.
Kamikaze was the way that, like, if you wanted to, like, that was kind of part of, like, not an initiation, but like riding the canyon in the very beginning of the canyon. The kamikaze was kind of like the one that Albrook and those fucking guys would take us to, and like, oh, you got to do this, and we were just dumbass snowboarders. So we're like, okay,
everybody ate shit, pretty much.
well, yeah, but then everybody had.
Yeah.
But if I had the camera and I did it, then everyone had to do it because I was the camera guy. So if the camera guy did it, you're pretty much screwed. You know,
and
what I mean?
tell them why
Yeah,
it's
perfect.
called Swanson Hill.
Because that was my nickname, and why I went down that because I was pissed at Manly and them because they would always like there's the Trail of Death and all that. I don't know if you ever went across like Trail of Death and all that shit, but
Yeah.
they would like take, oh, everybody's going this way, and then Dana's following us. So I got my nuts broken in on like all that shit from the Crusty one. Like I pretty much had to eat shit across everything or make it, but earn the respect of
Dana
riding
always
with him.
planned his crash.
Well, yeah, but we were snowboarders, so
Always planned
like
his crash. Yes.
we would take them and fuck them up snowboarding too. So that was always fun. But the canyon is like
Swanson came because he ate too much frozen dinners.
well,
Frozen dinners. And that's the Swanson Hill.
right?
Yep.
Yeah,
But,
I remember that clip of Seth bombing down that massive downhill, right? That's the one you were talking
That's the
about.
Swanson Hill.
And then it's a long clip. He rides across this field, and then he hucks this big old gnarly cliff hit.
And like the endos. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Hey,
cool. I know exactly where that is. I just never went over there. I've been planning on it. Maybe this winter. Maybe we link up and we go out there. I think no one's built houses around it. Yeah, we should. We really should.
Right.
Yeah,
The hit's still there.
Hey, Colby,
there's a water.
you said that you were talking about flipping in the hills after doing it on a BMX bike. So did you just pull them in the hills? Did you go to a pit or anything? Or you were just like, I'm pretty sure I know how to pull?
No, I was I was sitting there watching. It's funny that we're talking about it. I was sitting there watching Krusty's drinking beers at this house in Paris, California, with my buddy Evan, and I was like, you know what, dude, let's go out to Richie tomorrow, and we're gonna hit Scorpion. It's like a step up that Vinny built for flipping, so it's like real lofty, perfect steep lip, and then and he goes, yeah, you're tripping. I said, no, seriously, dude, I'm gonna pull back on this 450 because I said worst case scenario, I under rotate, I bail, land on my feet, I'll be fine. If I over rotate and land on my feet, I'll be fine, or I'm gonna just land it perfect. And I called a few people, and I kind of was like, someone told me don't pull that hard, and I thought, what the fuck, I was gonna pull as hard as I could, really, but I kind of half-assed pulled it. It didn't come around, and I bailed, landed on my feet, and just kind of like bruised my hip or whatever. But it wasn't too bad. And then once my friends are TIG welders at Sunbelt Rentals, they TIG welded my subframe back straight and just chicken wired some shit back, like my foot pedal and just random stuff, and then or my brake pedal. And then I went back for on the pipe 7, and I knew if I pulled harder it'd rotate. And I flipped it perfect. So my second try, I flipped it, no foam pit. And I had good air awareness and timing when to pull. And then I flipped it again for that. So I did 2 that day, and then that was kind of it. And I went and I hit a foam pit later on because I had access to foam pits. At Fitzpatrick's house, I flipped into foam for 75ers. But I really did like 20 flips in the hills. I flipped like 3 jumps, 2 in Chasing the Storm, or I think I did 3 in Chasing the Storm, but all no foam pits prior to that.
It's different flipping dirt, right? You can wring the throttle out and pull a little harder than you can on a ramp. If you get kind of juicy at the end on a ramp, you're going to probably over rotate.
Yeah, well, the thing with a ramp is if you have to bail, you're lucky if you don't break a bunch of bones on a ramp. But I always looked at the hills like, okay, it's such a big lofty step up. Even if you under rotate or screw up, you're gonna land on your feet. It's like I wouldn't flip anything unless it had that like nice lofty step up to it. So worst case, I wouldn't break a bunch of shit. We're 75.
That's a perfect example of planning your way out and planning like the easy way out.
Oh, yeah.
That's like the whole example of like the whole life story. It's like he you got the whole thing
Tell
fucking figured out.
Colby, like back in the day when you were a professional snowboarder, we didn't do step ups. Everything was jumping off cliffs. So everything was a step down. But I see what you're saying, Colby, because your momentum, if you tell our audience out there, the momentum, you're actually slowing down. So you're not going to cartwheel so hard coming down.
Yeah,
If
you're only
stepping
falling
up.
like 5 feet. Like if you think about it, the
Yeah.
takeoff's down here, the landing's up here. You're launching uphill. You're only falling like 5 feet. So it's like jumping off of a maybe like an 8 staircase landing on your ass. It's gonna hurt, but you're not gonna snap your leg.
Yeah.
You know, the funny thing is that's why, like, when it came to doing kamikaze and all that shit, like, I used to always do that shit, and I'm like, well, fuck, worst thing I could do is fall down the cliff and fucking cartwheel down the cliff and shit. And it was that stuff was fun, but like when it came to like the triples, I'm the case out king. I could never fucking do like a timing jump. I could do a step down, a step up, and all the crusty type of stuff. That's why all the snowboard guys could do all that dumb shit in the beginning, and we'd launch our bikes and eat shit and thought it was fucking funny as hell. But it was kind of like a little half calculated. But one of the cool things is kind of like how, like, even in snowboarding, like when we used to do the filming, we would always do unique shit. Like my whole theory was do shit other people wouldn't do, and then like how you do like the street style and stuff. It seems like you got that knack for setting yourself apart in that way. You know what I mean? It seems pretty natural too.
Kind of like BMX and skateboard, and you're doing kind of the urban style, with FMX, what we call today the freestyle.
I think.
Yeah.
I think that I mean, as like I'm a free rider. I'm not a racer, so like racing's results, but free riding's a lot based on a lot of creativity. So you're always trying to do something that's got that like buzz or just different than others. And I remember getting invited to Real Moto, and I hadn't seen any like street stuff going on. Couple things on jumping on houses and things, but nothing like I wanted something that stood out different than others. So I was jumping off that bridge my first Real Moto. I was doing different wall rides and street gaps and things, and I wanted to make sure they were gnarly. They weren't just like small stuff. I wanted to do like big gnarly street stuff, like moto style, and that's all like having a BMX eye for BMX street. And then I started.
We're looking at right there. What is that?
That's a big
how'd you come up with that thing?
Down by San Diego, and then bringing ramps. So like I was a framer for like 5 years. So building all my own shit out of wood.
What kind of framer? A wood framer or metal stud?
Yeah, I did commercial metal studs in high-rise buildings in LA and Hollywood for like 2 years. And I did finish. Yeah, I did finish carpentry, like building music studios for my good friend Brad Keeler's company in like Beverly Hills, random places. Then I did outdoor framing, like framing up houses with wood out in Temecula when I made the move out to that area for like 2 years.
It's funny. Here's a funny story for you that you would never know. I come from metal stud framing myself, so like I would pro snowboard guy. I would snowboard all winter, metal stud shit all summer, and that's how Seth actually met us. And he came out to California with Bubba and got a job with me doing metal studs. And it took a while for him working with me before he actually even like went riding with us. You know what I mean? Back in the day.
You know, little wafer screws and cutting with your snips and shit, and laying track and shock pinning in the concrete. But yeah, and then I did a drywall. My boss was like, do everything from the everything. But yeah, so then building my own ramps and taking them to the streets like that clip. So I'd find spots, and then I'd be building ramps and bringing them to the street, and that was like my Real Moto thing. And I started just going AWOL because they got rid of Real Moto. So I started doing that shit all over the place. Now I see everybody just building kickers or bringing kickers out everywhere and doing all kinds of shit constantly. And I'm still doing that, but now I'm looking for like the next thing. And I think I'm pretty stoked on this new Harley Davidson or any type of like, V-twin motorcycle jumping is like kind of fun right now with my property. So that's like, I feel like that's something no one's really doing. So I'm pretty stoked to start doing that more often.
Maybe
I saw that.
tell us what you just got, the Harley, and what you just did over the weekend.
Yeah, no, I saw it. It was actually pretty sick the way he did that, and the whole ramp setup and the bike looked sick. Like the whole program looked pretty cool. Go ahead and let everybody.
Thank you. Yeah, so basically, I was living in Hawaii last year, and I was like coming up with an idea because I have that property with all that land, and I know how to build all my own ramps. And I'm like, man, I need to build a setup. I wanted to do some Knievel style stuff, and I basically I designed it, I built it, telephone poles. Mike Harris actually, lineman out in that area, just drops off old poles for me out there. So my spine and the wall ride, everything I have out there is all built with like telephone poles, my shark fin, everything. So anyway, thank you to Mike Harris. But yeah, so I built that Knievel landing, and then I talked to Rockstar, talked to Claiborne, talked to a few people. Claiborne jumped right on it. They're like, we're going to get a Harley for you or whatever bike. It didn't matter. I'm not sold completely on any bike in particular, but I wanted to do something that matched Knievel's jumps in his career, the later ones that were big. And then they were like, let's get you a Sportster. And I wanted to match Knievel's. They were like Senders Only Joey down there in San Diego. He took on the build part of it. Really cool dude. Friends with Claiborne, so that's how that linked up. Joey at Claiborne lined us up anyway. So I said I wanted a Knievel bike. I didn't want to do. I'm not against doing big suspension builds, but I wanted to replicate a Knievel jump. Like everyone, like my dad's a big Knievel fan. I grew up watching him too, and he would say, you know what made Knievel so badass? Because he jumped it on a bike that was like bone stock right off the showroom floor, just gnarly. Like no one's jumping that kind of shit right now. And I thought about it. I'm like, fuck. I know his shit was gnarly because his takeoff ramp had no transition. It was fucking just like a straight plank. He'd like catch air at the bottom of it, But so props to him for that. Going for no one's jumping a ramp like that. But I know like angles and transitions, so I was like, I'm gonna use the same bike, but modern day transition. So I'm still not as gnarly as Evil, but I wanted to jump the same bike, same setup. So I replicated the last jump of his career, Kings Island, which he went 133, and so I just built the same similar kind of size takeoff, same landing width and all that angles. And I just put it on for fun. I invited everyone out to come watch, and there's a video. It got packed out for a Friday. I don't know why I want to do it on a Friday, but I just figured let's just do it. And then I swear to God, I didn't even plan it, but it turns out to be October 25th was the day he did his last jump that I was replicating. It's just a crazy coincidence, honestly.
Cool.
I don't know, but yeah, it worked out like that. But it was cool. We got it done. It was a lot of fun. Everyone had a blast. Good turnout. The quarter pipe shows before and after the jump were insane. Jason Borowski, my good friend from Philadelphia or Pennsylvania, Westchester. But yeah, anyway, so he was shredding with me, and I'm doing another one now. That one went really well. For Friday night with traffic and stuff, I had a really good turnout. So I'm doing one December 24th. Doing it on a Saturday, starting at 10 a.m. Quarter pipe practice, best whip practice at 11 noon. I posted the whole thing on my Instagram. It's the flyer I just put up, the whole schedule. But best whip pro contest for a payout, vendors, and then I'm gonna jump. I'm gonna try to jump over 151 feet on the same bike that I just jumped 130 on. To try to break Doug Danger's. I'm calling it the stock motorcycle record because Doug Danger jumped on Evel Knievel's stock on his actual bike at the Buffalo Chip in Sturgis, and he went 151 feet. So I'm going to go for that. And then, maybe after this, I'll have them build me a bike similar to our boy Seth Inslow, the man. He jumped 183. So he holds the record for the biggest jump on a motorcycle, period, 183. So that was really gnarly. He went huge. Props to him. And I'm just kind of getting going here. I got a lot of technique and math and things from moto. So I'm
Yeah.
going to try to see how I do, but you know, no promises, but I'm going to see how far I can go.
Nice.
Can people watch that on your December 24th? Is that going to be streaming, or how can people
Yeah.
watch that?
I think I'll have enough time. This one was rushed. I got the bike the day before. I built that takeoff and landing, like finished the landing 2 days before. Built it. That thing was rushed, so I didn't. All I did was I did it live on my Raha TV Instagram, which is
Okay.
Raha 3_ TV. So we went live on that for the whole jump. A lot of people were able to watch it on there. But I think this one I'll probably either do like a YouTube live, or I think I might partner with X Games and do like an X Games live, or maybe with you guys. You know, Krusty's would be rad. So I'm nothing
We're
confirmed yet,
here.
but let's do
Yeah.
something cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, on that Richie Canyon thing, what about you get first person to ever hit kamikaze on an e-bike, on an electric?
Yeah, no, I'm down. I'll bring the electric bike, the 2-stroke. You know, we'll go have some fun. It's actually right here. I live right down the street from Richie.
Oh shit! All right, yeah, we need to go dig up Richie, or the kamikaze be a good one to dig out of the hole. That'd be funny. Go back to first generation.
Yeah.
So Colby, who's the guys that you ride with, like in your hood when you're home?
Lately I've been riding with Jason Broski a ton. When Metzger's good and healthy and around, he's always, you know, a great dude to hang with and go ride with, and we have a lot of fun together. And then lately, you know, it's I always say it's like hard to find. There's a lot of competitive dudes in the industry that are kind of all eggy and stuff, and I don't really care to hang too much around them if they want to be like, you know, I don't know, just not down for it. A lot of dudes live in Temecula, which is kind of a trek, but like, you know, all my best friends, they have like, they're construction workers, like my boy Brad and stuff, the guys that help me build my stuff. They're all like just free riders that have jobs. So like 9 to 5, whatever, like during the week, they can't ride. So lately I've been hanging out with Bruce Irons a ton, and he's, you know, doesn't work, retired basically, and he just wants to charge and go ride all the time. He's like, let's go ride moto, let's go ride moto, let's go ride moto. And I'm like, I want to go surf, dude. I'm over riding right now. I want to go ride some waves. So it's fun. Me and him have been good energy, just everyday riding.
Tell people out there, if we have moto fans out there, tell us who this badass dude is named Bruce Irons.
Yeah, so you can look him up. Bruce Irons, big gnarly surfer from Kauai. Him and his brother Andy just like ruled the surf world for
3-time world champion.
Yeah, Andy, 3-time world champion. Yeah, like from the 90s up to like the, you know, early 2000s, they were just unstoppable.
Yeah.
And man, what like a heyday, dude. Those guys just killed it. So yeah,
and Bruce
good,
and
like,
Andy, they're in
friends.
the same category as like Kelly Slater. Just to
well, Andy
send that out to our
Kelly
moto fans
for years.
Yeah, to know who Bruce is. He's a badass dude.
Yeah, Bruce is the man, and I met him through Weed Maps. So like when I was on Team Weed Maps, when I got on Militia first, and then I got on Weed Maps before energy drink sponsors. That was my route, and Weed Maps was going off for a few years there, and then that came to a stop at some point. I think budget reasons or something, but yeah, I met him. I met a bunch of badass dudes. Tommy Sandoval, the whole skate crew, Clay Kreiner, you know, what the other surfers, some of the Rothmans and stuff.
You know, Weed Maps. Some of the skaters that we know from back in the day that love motorcycles.
Yeah,
Nathan Fletcher and Danny Way.
Yeah, so Nathan Fletcher and Christian. And I was hanging out with Nathan a lot, living out there in Hawaii last year and stuff. Nathan's the man, dude. That guy's like seriously so dialed in and on point, and so much good advice. That dude, the whole Fletcher family, dude, they're unbelievable. They're so rad. So Grayson's just the man right now, killing it. But I was able to meet a lot of those guys on Weed Maps, and Bruce was one of them. So I always kept in touch. I still keep in touch with everybody. And, you know, sometimes it's like, hey, what are you up to, man? How you been? Good, dude. I'm just bored. I want to go shred. I'm like, well, me too, dude. Let's go. You know, it's like, we're on. You know, what are you doing? You don't got work. You have no agenda. All right. Well, me neither. Let's go. Let's go shred and get clips. So, man, it's a good time. But, yeah, that dude's a full-blown legend. Went out to Kauai and was able to surf with him and the Longley family and Lindy Irons and Axel Irons,
You
his
ever
Andy's
run
son and stuff.
into one of our guys out there, Chava Greenlee?
Greenlee, I'm sure they know him.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I
big
don't know,
wave
kind of
surfer.
just
He was in our Crusty 6 when we went over to Kauai. Took us all
okay.
over Kauai, Pole Line Road. What's that Grand Canyon looking thing?
Yeah,
Waimea.
well,
Yeah.
we went out of
Nice.
the Rothmans and rode bikes on Sunset, didn't we?
Yeah.
Was that Sunset?
Yeah, I just put out
That was
a
the
whole
Rothman
edit out
family.
there.
Yeah, that's on North Shore. Yeah.
Yeah, I put out a whole edit in Oahu. Big Island Mike and G Money and our friends Bryce and Wade from
Yeah.
up at the top of Pupukea. They have a whole big ranch up there. And Tyson
Oh, yeah.
Films and me and Chatty Witz, we filmed this killer edit. It's called Raha in Hawaii, I think, or Raha in
Okay.
Oahu.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, man, good times out there and meeting everybody through Weed Maps. And then I've been on Rockstar and man,
Yeah.
it's been such a journey, dude. Seriously, like from just shoveling and Richie with Vinny Carbone and the boys to like it
Yeah.
just snowballed. And then I always made sure I did well at X Games was my main goal. And then now it's that still, but trying to put out more video stuff and start seeing what I can do on this distance jumping stuff.
How many gold medals you got now?
I got 6.
Nice.
Shaka
Yeah,
bra.
6. I think 12 total. I got one right here from my Ventura. That's a silver. But yeah, I got all my medals in my shop, but I don't get Wi-Fi in there, so I'm in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was stoked. I was super stoked to see you like get Metz out there and get him on the e-bike on just to see him out there riding with you guys. I was pumped on Metz's style, and
Yeah.
he's fucking awesome. He was like always been one of my favorite riders, and to see him out there was fucking awesome. And by the way, Clint, I got footage for you, and Metz is one of the tapes I found for you.
Awesome.
First time we ever took Metz to Australia. First ever tour with Metzger. Pretty good.
Yeah, man. I got a couple stories of me and Metz hanging out. What a fucking good dude. This guy's like my favorite human and also favorite like moto freestyle rider, you know. That dude's like that's why they call him the Godfather. He's the man. But yeah, when he's around, he travels and then his body's all kind of thrashed, so he's like fucking too sore. Like we'll ride all day and he'll be stoked, and then next few days like fuck, I'm so sore, dude. Like you know, as he should be, dude.
I think he's broke about everything that you can break.
Yeah,
well, I have a picture of the canyon, and it's me holding a camera like a little pistol grip, and Metzger's flat over the top of me, and it was before Crusty won, like prior to filming that, and it was sick, and he was riding in a down vest and had just like just pants on, right? And that was before the invention of flesh gear, before me and Metzger actually invented
pant thing and all that.
Well, yeah. Me and Metzger actually invented it because I'm all Metz. That looks super sick, and we were snowboarders. So me and Metz sat down and made like a little leg pattern and all that. And of course we got in with some dickhead company we won't say the name of, and he fucked us off. But that was before all the shift and all that kind of bullshit. It was kind of funny. But Metz, yeah, dude, that dude is just such a fucking legend. You know, you can't say enough about Metz for what he did for the sport, you know?
Yeah, just being around him, like driving Ocotillo with him, just the amount of ideas and just creativeness just flying in the van and just like, holy shit, dude. Like, it's just funny, dude. It's like just like Step Brothers type shit. Like, what do you think about this? Fuck yeah, let's do it. High five, and then we're out, you know, just going on fucking crazy missions. Like, I won't even go into the stories unless it's just the boys kind of thing. Just wicked, like, and then shredding, just doing the gnarliest shit and not bringing cameras, you know, like, we're not here we're just out here, like, who brought here? No one. All right, fuck it, send it. Just good shit, dude. Really honored to be able to hang out with that dude and get along so well with him, and then just the knowledge he'll just tell me, because it's hard to relate, like, you know, I'm doing this and he's like, I remember when I was your age or when I was at that point in my career with these sponsors and those attorneys, and those types of managers or this or that. And it's cool because you don't get advice like that. And anyways, I'm just honored to be able to hang with that dude. He's like one of my favorite guys growing up, and friends of friends too. It's like small kind of, some of my good friends that don't ride are like some of his best friends, and there's some of mine. And anyway, just all good shit, dude. It's been a journey.
Yeah, no, Metz is
tell us about Larry Linkhogel. And
Yeah, dude.
Hey, before we get off the subject, before we get off Metz,
keep going on Metz, but I wanted to know your thought on Larry.
Yeah. We'll talk about fucking Link's ass in a minute. Fucking Link. But Metzger, he's one of those guys, like I said, like, you know, some people in the industry, you know, especially nowadays, people get all corporate about, you know, what they become. Everybody's their own brand, it seemed like, as riders, you know. But back then, like a Metz, he's due way more credit, and he's like one of the fucking superest OGs. People people will never know how OG that guy is. Can't say enough about fucking that guy.
He's,
you know,
if you could like design a perfect freestyle rider, dude, like mentality, like he like, okay, like for instance, we were just riding quarter pipe my property like a couple months ago, and he's riding up around to the top of my landing and fucking like stalling and like waiting for his bike to fall and coming down. And he's like, dude, you know what? Like, you should ride up the top and ride across the 2-foot fucking top and then drop off the end. Because I was like, yeah, dropping off the end would be cool. He's like, nah, dude, like, ride up that fucker and then double tire, like balance right across and launch off. And he probably would have done it if I didn't talk him out of it. But like, or whatever, just because I'm like, dude, hold on a second. We're trying to ride quarter right now, dude. Fucking put that on hold, you know? But yeah, just like crazy shit, you know, just and a fearless, gnarly, like, dude, yeah, that guy's all time, man.
Yeah, he's like one of a kind. You know, there's only a few legends.
Yeah, he doesn't do things for like, he doesn't do things really for like credit or nothing. Like, he'll go do some wicked crazy shit at like 7 a.m. in the morning at Ocotillo because we'd been up all night, and fucking no one else will touch it. Even like, we're just like, that's fucking gnarly. But yeah, he doesn't care. He won't do anything for to like, it's not like a shit. It's not like people do things to like look cool or whatever. He'll do shit when no one's looking, just for the fuck of it. He's just
yeah. No, that's respectful. He does it for the love of the sport or the love of what he's doing. You know what I mean? It's like I get like, back in the day being a snowboarder, you know, and all the little fucking hoopla when we started doing Crusty, I always try to make a point of like staying on the other side of the lens and giving the respect like to the athlete, you know. But like a guy like Metz, like you see different people in different sports, and some of them have the love of the sport, and some of them like are just kind of, they're in it for the fame and the whole, I don't know. I guess it gets
like some people will do something that's not that gnarly and then make it seem like it's so fucking gnarly and talk it up and just like milk it for everything it's worth. Where like Metzger will go out and do something that's so gnarly and no one's looking, and people will try to talk about how gnarly it is, and he'll fucking walk out of the room because he doesn't give a fuck. Like, he just he's you know, he's real as fuck. Like, that's the one. Like, you know, it's pretty dope.
Yeah. All right. Well, okay. As far as Link Holger goes, best way I've found the best way to ever deal with Link since I ever met him was to bring him a Happy Meal every time I would ever go to fucking Link's house. I go through McDonald's and bring him a Happy Meal.
Yeah. No, Link is fucking right there at the best one, dude. He's just he's just such a solid fucking like you know, his opinion on shit is so rad. So I remember like basically like it was like hey, come out here and shred, and he didn't even come down. It was me and Rich Kearns hitting quarter pipe. I figured it out. I posted a pretty dope like video going high as hell off the quarter pipe with a real small dirt landing with like no transition, just like pretty good clip that went around. And then I got invited to ride quarter, so then I rode quarter nitro, and then me and Link, basically first time we hung out, he wanted to shred around Temecula with just GoPros in like traffic, like evening, and just we set up some jumps and shit, and we basically just like pillaged Temecula, and like cops couldn't catch us because there was traffic. So we were ripping down the freeways. This was like before. Now I feel like people are doing more and more of it. It's becoming common, but we were jumping this. I built a wall ride. We just went crazy, dude. And then we started going to the gym, like Muay Thai kickboxing down in Vista. We go like 4 days a week. Hey, let's go. Fucking, I'm like, all right, I ain't saying no. And I'd help him work on the winery and shit. But yeah, we basically became like we hung out every day pretty much. And same thing, dude, just like the knowledge. And I was like a young, like 22, 23. I just won my first X Games like right after we linked up with the spikes and shit, honoring militia, because he basically was like, yo, come ride for militia, and we're getting you in the X Games, train here, ride here. And I was like, fuck yeah, dude, I've been waiting for something to do. I got all this energy and I've got this skill, but I'm like, who am I gonna fucking rep and be a part of? And anyway, so full like X Games won that. Then I moved into his rock house in the back of his property, I think where he used to live when he was younger. And
top of the winery.
Yeah, the old rock house. So I lived in there for a couple years.
Oh,
we were in
shit.
a band. We were in a band together called the Fucks, and we would just basically G.G. Allen cover band, old fucking like
G.G. Allen.
Dude, we played a few of his songs in our lineup, but we played the Santa Ana. I was on bass, and then he was guitar and Tyler Flight, and then our buddy Cole was on drums and shit. And we basically fucking it was it. But yeah, his mentality on like everything was just, well, he was like, fuck everyone, do what you gotta do, fucking destroy everyone, be the best, fucking work, like train, get stronger than everyone, be gnarly, fuck all these other companies, they're just trying to fuck you, basically. Like, but he was like, he had like a point to a lot of it, because I was kind of like, and I was down as fuck for all that, and same kind of mentality, because all these other companies could have picked me up and put me on, but then they kind of didn't, and then I started winning everything, and I was like, yeah, fuck you guys, because you guys weren't there for me when I needed help, and now I'm fucking winning, and I don't give a shit. And then yeah, it was a good time. It was like, just whatever the fuck, like, just destroy everybody and we'll try to win, and that's what I was doing. And he was cool, dude. He had my back too with a lot of shit, and him and Brian Manley rode on Axel's bike at that first X Games, and everyone fucking tripped out. Well, the Hodges tripped out, made a big fuss about it, but Axel wasn't even riding. He was just there with a broken wrist. His bike was there because it was on the monster truck with all the other bikes. Broke his wrist right before X Games. Then I went out and won, and then they rode on his bike, and they made some big fucking. He basically, what he wrote was FK sellouts on the frame, and then he wrote slay more dick sharks on his front fender. He crossed out dirt shark. He wrote slay more dick sharks. But it was him and Brian Manley, dude. Brian Manley and Larry. Because I seen him over there fucking around. But I was like putting on my helmet. I was just about to go compete. But that became a big thing. Phil was fucking whining, just crying about it. And yeah, it was hilarious, dude. But yeah, they fucking kicked him out. He couldn't watch the contest. And then the next year we showed up and they wouldn't let him in the stadium. That's how big of a fucking fit Phil Hodges threw.
Well, we travel the world with Larry, and it's like some of the shit that dude's got to send to you in different countries. He's a funny one.
He's hilarious, dude. Yeah, his sense of humor is all time, dude. Love that.
And that picture behind me, that's where I took Larry up to Machu Picchu, one of the like 7 wonders of the world, I guess.
And I you guys
there, and I got arrested with Larry up there. That's another story.
No, it was. I went home.
He is my adventure pilgrim, so to speak. That guy is gnarly. And whenever I wanted to do something and nobody else wanted to do it, I always had Larry. He was my partner in crime, and that's how we made some of the, things that you see in Crusty Demons over the years.
Yep.
Because Larry was a trooper. That guy, he's like, yep, Johnny, let's do it. I don't care if I get arrested. Let's go.
Who are we talking to? Clint last week about Larry's house. About the first time I met Larry, he had a supercross track up on the top of the plateau up there by the house. In between that and the above the winery, there was a full supercross track. So I remember standing on his deal, filming the whoop section, and it's like it was before freestyle.
Probably
it was
before you
Simon
told me
built
when
that,
he
I
had the
think.
supercross track up there, and then he graded the whole thing out into a freestyle thing with Mickey Diamond. Back
Yeah,
in
it
the
was
day.
before the compound.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
first
some of my
freestyle
footage,
course.
some of the footage I
Yeah.
think was like Area 52 with Link. We were going on road trips. Same kind of deal. Like he hadn't ridden a ton. And then when I linked up with him, man, we were out fucking traveling, going up to NorCal, Dana Creech's house. I think it's called Area 52 Metal Militia or something. And yeah, there's clips of him out there, man. We had some good fun for a while, and then I think he's taking care of the winery now.
Yeah.
And then I got on Weed Maps, and I ended up moving out of that house and stuff. But yeah, all good, and still repping for militia and stuff. So
Kind of
yeah,
like,
dude,
similar to Metzger. Larry was always, when we would travel and we'd go to like New Zealand or Australia or, you know, South America, and Larry's like, hey, what about that hill? Can we get that hill? You know, can we go down that? Can we, you know, do this? He was the perfect guy for
yeah,
us.
he's
Yeah.
similar
And
to
find,
that
you know,
Metz
good spot.
mentality. Like he don't care if people are filming or not. Kind of thing. He just loves it. And I remember we were at Harley Davidson Temecula doing some autograph signing in Temecula, some kind of small thing. But we look over and he's fucking bombing down this mountain like behind Old Town Temecula, like carving a path through all these bushes and shit. Like, just like it's just this hilarious, dude. Just funny shit.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome. Well, I've heard a lot about your place out there, seen a lot about it. It looks like you can get out into the open desert right there too, right?
Dude, seriously, it's like the best time ever. Bought that property back, like way back, and I saw the lakes and I seen the golf courses and stuff, but didn't know about there's like old mines that aren't bare, they're not covered, and you could ride to /X. You basically ride over the Route 66. It's such a fun ride, and then out like past like that Hodge Road, you could go all the way out to forget the name, but you make your way out to /X, and that place is like an old vintage motorcycle bar. It serves burgers and live bands and shit. It's like a couple hundred people out there, different bikes all lined up. It's like a destination. It's like open on the weekends, and yeah, it's right there. And then Michael Essie. Oh, you're going to /X?
Yeah, I got my wife's friend. Her dude just bought a truck, and they want to go out. There's some like a powder puff race, and so I'm taking my trophy truck out. We're gonna go camp out for the weekend. And usually we go out camp and we bring like the razors and all that shit. Cause my wife's afraid of the fucking trophy truck, but she ain't gonna have a choice this weekend, I guess.
Yeah, you guys got to try to plan a trip out to my spot because we camp right there at my property. And we just shred all around. There's outdoor tracks out there like Michael Essie built with like a dozer, no fences and shit. And then we could ride to the lake. We wear our swim trunks under our pads. We jump in the lake. There's restaurants out there, and then there's go back to my spot, fire up the lights, and ride quarter pipe till like midnight. Have a bonfire and shit, dude. It's seriously like some of the most fun ever. I love it.
That sounds awesome. We got a whole crew that we go out with you know our little camp crew and truck crew and all that bullshit.
Bring them all.
We got a few toys that we can bring out to Colby's.
Yeah, the more people, the better.
Usually I gotta warn people that my crew's a little fucked up, but I think you know who we are and what we do. So
dude,
I think you understand what kind of friends I have.
Yeah, there ain't shit you could do wrong out there. What are you gonna do? Fuck it. There's just it's a desert, dude. You know, build a fire too big. Like we had full blown like mortars, fucking cakes going off at the property after the jump. Like
we want to build something underground so we come out of the earth.
Yeah, we could do that too.
Yeah, we could do that one.
Yeah, I dug like a
Yeah, no,
30-foot
it
hole with an
sounds.
excavator out there.
I got a question for you. The Raha land, is that like when you're going out the 15? Is it like past Outlet Center Drive?
So it's if you take the 15, you get off at D Street, which is Route 66. They just call it D Street. It's like past like Victorville. So you go past that, you make a left. Where old Racetown was off the 395, it's between 395 and the 66. So it's called Silver Lakes. I live in Colton, and it's like 50 minutes from my house, just like out that way,
Okay,
So,
but to get say if we brought the trophy truck out there on a ride, would we still have to cross the 15 to get back to /X?
you would take the fire roads out to around Lockheed. You could get out there. You could get out there from my property to /X. You would have to cross the 15, but you would just go straight up Hodge Road's a dirt road where they shoot all those guns in BLM land. You go right over the 15, and then you're still right there on I forget the name. It's like I don't know, but it's a dirt road. Yeah, you could get
So
there.
I got one question for you.
Yeah.
Can we bring as much pyro as we want?
You could, dude, for real. You could fucking blow some shit up out there. That's what we were doing, like oxygen acetylene bombs when I was building the place.
Yeah.
And then, mortars and shit.
We got some pretty good pyro guys.
I like this guy. See, you're one of the only other fuckers I ever know that could even fucking call out an oxygen and acetylene bomb. I learned how to make those in like 7th grade. Nobody else has ever been like, oh yeah, we make oxygen and acetylene bombs. See, you got to figure it out. We need to hang out, and we'll bring Metzger out of it too. We'll bring in Metz.
Yeah, dude. Bruce Irons told me a story with that oxygen acetylene he learned in high school, and they made like big trash bags full of balloons, like 80 balloons full of them, and they put them in the back of their truck, and they're driving around Kauai on 4th of July because they're gonna go blow them up at the beach. Yeah. And he said him and his buddy made them all, and they parked at the beach to have a parking lot party. It was like girls and everybody's this whole parking lot full of people, and he rode his BMX bike back to his parents' house to go shower. And he's in the shower, and he just hears this fucking bomb go off, dude. It shook the whole house, and he was like a mile away. And he was tripping, dude. But he went back and
the whole thing.
Yeah, the one dude that was in the truck that helped make him, he grabbed a balloon, and it had a spark went off. The static electricity. Anyway, he was the only one that really went to the hospital. It was like girls like shrapnel and glass and stuff, but nothing too serious. Everybody kind of had hearing damage for a while or whatever, but yeah, nobody died. But it fucking peeled the roof off the truck.
Everybody lives.
Yeah, so that's like Stony go. Bruce's stories. He fucking gets into it's pretty heavy. Yeah, they were kids.
At Linkhogel's house, we did 5-gallon drums for the cover of Crusty 6. If you remember that cover.
5-gallon drums.
Yeah. 5-gallon drums of gasoline. Those things are huge.
Dude, that's what I mean. Like, even just like a balloon will fucking, blow a hole in a wall.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that shit's gnarly. But yeah, we can do that shit out there.
Yeah, well, perfect.
Be careful what you ask for.
As you know, we got some, upcoming plans to do some live entertainment in America, which we've seemed to always have strayed away from in America. But I don't know. I think we need to do shit like shit's too soft. So we want to come do some fucked up shit in America. I'm sure you'd like to come blow shit up.
We were just talking earlier, me and Colby. We want to have Rob Zombie out there and get maybe some Ministry, get some solid, either punk bands or hard rock, and have Colby come out, throw some demos. Maybe we'll do it at Pomona Speedway next year. Make something big, grandiose. Got all the boys right there in the hood, so we could. Yeah, we could blow some shit up over there.
I could jump a fucking, maybe like 20 milk trucks or some shit, on a Harley or something.
There you go.
Well, we have a new one. We're gonna bring in we're gonna have a a trash truck. We're gonna fucking jump a trash truck too, because we want to do like car stunts and all that
With
shit.
Trump driving it.
Yeah, no, we'll get a trunk truck. We're gonna fucking air it out, just fucking send that bitch, and like we want to do all the fucked up like car stunts, and like even like how they used to do the barnstorming where the plane would fly through a barn and dumb shit like that. Like
That'd be
I don't know, kind of some fucking stunt like hillbilly shit mixed in with kind of what we do, I guess.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I'm all for it. I'd love to be a part of it. And if you guys are free on December 14th, we'll be doing some, that like best whip contest, Harley jump, quarter pipe stuff. And then, yeah, dude, when you guys put the Pomona thing together, let's get it fucking going.
Sounds good.
All right, you got room to make a truck jump out there at your spot for me? Bring the truck
this
out?
winter. Yep, I'm totally doing it. I want to build like a razor jump, one for my TRX, and just fucking move some dirt and make some. Definitely need a 4-wheel jump. I jumped the razors, but
truck, we can go about 100 feet.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna build like a long distance landing, and then I'll build a ramp out of steel. We can scoot it back as far as we want, so we could really fucking get some clips, you know.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I want.
We
want to make it.
And we'll huck it 100 feet. Build us the jump.
Yeah, I'm seriously gonna build it because I know some people on Polaris and stuff. They want to jump their Polarises, and I got the space, and that's like the one thing I don't have. It only take me like fucking 3 hours or 4 hours to push that dirt up too with a dozer. So wait until it rains, and then I'm building a distance truck landing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll bring my truck out and I'll let you drive it. You can fuck around with it.
Fuck yeah, dude. Fucking trophy truck, hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Got some power.
Well, fuck you. I'm stoked. Fucking this last minute fucking session on the podcast, but
yeah. Hey, Clint. What's up with the fucking grinding rails and pegs and stuff, dude? When are we gonna do that?
We need to do it soon. I got an idea of a good obstacle to slide, to be quite honest with you. That I had some and they got stolen. But we can talk about that. I also need to bring my Harley out and hit your ramp with you. I know I got suspension, but I'm old.
Yeah, well, bring it out, dude. Let's do it. Let's have some fun. That's what I want to do is fun shit.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, have you ever fucking did anything on that the dam over by 71 by G Spot? We call that place G Spot.
But yeah, with the big 1776 painting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I looked at trying to get in there. They got it pretty gated off and shit. It'd be like a full-blown like jumping over fences mission. I need a crew to like put ramps to get me to jump back over the fences and stuff. So I haven't really done that one, but I think we could probably get in there through the back way. That river's got, you know what I mean? It's everything's always like a fucking mission. So it's like,
I know. I've been looking at that thing for like probably 10 years now. I've always wanted to do like a big sweeping 360 across the face and the trophy truck. Just big ass fucking sweeper on it. Like,
yeah,
I always
sick.
Thing. And I'm like, I always think of you. I'm like, I wonder if you ever fucking look at that fucking thing.
Yeah, I see it all the time. I just need like a crew with grinders to fucking bust in that place or some ramps or something, you know. But
allegedly,
yeah, there's always a way in, always a way out. Yeah. And Clint, there's a bunch of footage in the mail. You got some fucked up shit coming your way.
Yeah, we all got to link up. We're definitely hitting the Richie spot, and then we're definitely gonna link up at my spot and blow some shit up and fucking ride.
If you guys are gonna hit Richie, I'll get Seth, and me and Seth will load up, and we'll come bring the 4/5 out and come ride with you guys.
Yeah,
and we'll go right over to Kamikaze, and we'll just go fucking have some fun.
Yeah, let's do it, man. Yeah, my house is right here. We'll definitely go. I got places we could park if it's all there's houses, but you know what's up. Let's go, dude. Let me know when.
Yeah, no, I ain't scared. All my bike's over at Seth's house in his fucking shed. I'll go see if I can get it out of there.
Yeah, sick. Yeah, I want to hang with Seth too, man. Seth's like my top fucking, some of my favorite rider right there. Dude's the man.
Yeah.
Link, Metzger, and I like the things Matto's pulled off. I like his style too. Yeah, those dudes are the man right there. Seth's
Matto's methodical. I like how Matto's methodical. You know what I mean? And like going back to the early Richie Canyon and the hills and all the OG shit. Like I think he got that shit fucking handled. Like Hodges, I'm pretty impressed how Hodges does like that McGrath shit from like back in Still Roots, like how he do the little wheelie and land in a wheelie. That was pretty.
Into a wheelie, yeah.
Yeah, I want to fucking play a game of bike with Hodges at his property. Like I swear I could do all that shit, dude. He has like the right landings for it. I got some landings I could do that shit too, but when I do it, I feel like I'm just trying to copy him, and I hate that fucking. I hate like I've done some jumps of wheelies and jumps in those wheelies, and I'm like I'm not even gonna post it because I just feel like I'm like trying to copy him or something. But I think me and Hodges should do like a game of bike at his spot and then like a game of bike at mine, dude. I think that'd be dope. But Phil fucking has to stay at home, or he has to allow Axel to fucking do that with me.
He's got his top helicopter dad in him.
Fuck. We're like 30. I'm 30. He's like 29. It's like, let's fucking ride, bro.
Phil is still helicopter dad in him.
Yeah, he's hovering around trying to punk his competition. Like, I'll knock you out, Phil. Just get out of my face. Fucking dork. Yeah.
That's too funny.
No,
I think if we just
it'd be fun.
I think we're gonna, try to put an arena that's completely a different. Like I see more back in the old school with some dirt jumps and some bigger stuff and more of a place to like for the dirt bike side of it instead of doing everybody does the same identical fucking thing into the fucking landing.
Yeah.
That's why we're kind of going with I guess I won't talk too much about it, but a whole different fucking concept of destruction. You know what I mean? Like I want to ghost ride
all secrets out, D.
Yeah, I know. I'll shut up. But
why don't we throw like a Crusty Demons contest at Rawville or something? Like invite only top dudes. We could fucking do it up all sick, light off fucking setting bombs like under the jumps or something mid run, like fucking like it's like a gnarly something sick like that. I think it'd be cool. I've been wanting to do a contest or a jam or something out there because get Bierman and Patrick Evans, everybody out there, and give them like a run down the line. That line I built, just like one run, like a BMX dirt contest or something.
That'd be awesome.
Why, like we have to fucking hit the ramp through the explosion and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like
rings of fire and fucking banana peels and shit.
When we did that TV show one time, and they got all butthurt because they didn't want no projectiles, and I bought everybody airsoft guns and all this shit, and they wanted to come up with like dumbass games. They didn't like the games we came up with, but
did you ever see that TV show that we did, Krusty's Dirt Demons? We did 2 seasons, and we had Mad Mike, we had Lane Kogel, Metzger rolled Seth's truck on while we were filming whole thing. Fitzpatrick won one of the seasons.
You guys have done a ton of badass shit, dude. Enough about me. Like, what you guys have fucking been on tour, dude. You guys have put out a bunch of badass movies. You guys got like a box set or something? I just want to watch all that shit again. That's all I watched at the Rock House.
Dana will send you out a box set. Yeah.
I'll send you.
I think we only made about 20 films.
Yeah, I got 1 through 10 and 10 through 20 in box sets, and I just up-res like all the earlier movies, so I'll send you the whole collection.
Send me some of those Crusties, because when I was living at that Rock House at Militia at Lynx, we didn't have Wi-Fi or anything, so I just bought one of those TVs from Goodwill with the VCR thing, and we just would watch all those Crusties again, just fucking get all motivated. It was fun, man. It was like the first 4.
There you go.
I'll send you the whole 20-pack and the Night of War records and the video game. I'll send you the whole collection.
The DVD.
The Night of Records.
Yeah.
The Night of Records was badass. Did that just go up on YouTube? I just seen that, right? And it was fucking Matto, Capes, and Seth, right?
Yeah, that was Night of World Records number 2.
Yeah, they're both up.
Yeah.
That was fucking badass, dude. Matto's a nutcase.
Yo, how tall are the ramps in that thing? The landing's like 40
just
feet
huge.
tall.
Matto was
The
on a
landing-
500. Was
yeah,
Matto
right.
on
The
a
landing's
500?
like yours that you have in Reno. The landing's
Yeah.
about that big. Yeah.
We need to go use that landing too. I just talked to Jay, man. Like, I'm ready to go for the.
I know. That's just sitting there
425 foot.
waiting. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready to go for the record. But
And
yeah,
that's
those
your
dudes.
ramp sitting out there, right?
Yeah, it's Toe's, Steve
Yeah.
Eiler's. But yeah, the
Yeah.
same ramp that Harville used to break to go 425. That's the ramp that I used to go 311 at the end of Narnia. And
Yeah. Maybe for the fans out there, tell them how you came up with, the concept to fly over 300, maybe possibly 400 feet, and come up with like a ramp design and then the landing that's going to be comfortable. How do you come up with that?
Well, these pioneers named Seth, Enslow, Ryan Capes, Robbie Madison, Trigger Gum, those guys all basically over the years worked out angles that work the best. And, after a while, it becomes like a math equation. So those guys pretty much pioneered the big, gnarly, over 250-foot jumps. So hiring Joe. His name's Joe. They call him Joe Mama, but Joe basically is Ryan Capes's. Everybody has like their jump tech guy, and that was Ryan Capes's guy. So he had measured every speed, height, angle of the takeoff, distances, wind calculations, landing angles, everything, all documented over all of his jumps. So he came out to help me at the end of Narnia to help me get my angles right, because without him there, I backsided a 150-foot gap my first try, broke my pelvis in half, broke my shoulder, dislocated it real bad, tore it all apart. I had like the gnarliest crash, broke a couple vertebrae in my back. It's all on Narnia's. Go to narniafilm.com. You can order it. But anyways, that. So based on everybody else, what they've done, we kind of just take their math numbers and then it just comes down to having balls and learning how to fly the bike in the air, so where you can get over that, because after 300 feet or maybe 250, the wind starts like it's like in a plane, you get turbulence. So you're going that far on a 200-pound 450. You're pretty much like a piece of bark in the wind. Like the wind will push you different ways, and you'll start doing a weird like turn up without even trying, and you got to learn how to correct that. It gets gnarly. So that's really what it comes down to, and I feel like I'm ready to go back there. I went 311 feet. I didn't feel any amount of sketchiness or like scared at all, or like I didn't feel like I was going to crash. I felt really in control going 311 with that setup, and a lot of it has to do with setup. And I thought that my ramp and my landing with the bike I was on, everything was working great. So I think I could really go for over 425 if it all comes together. If we find the sponsors, the money, and it makes sense. I'm not going to do it for free. I shouldn't do it for free. Somebody should want to put their name on that, because I'd be ready to go for the biggest jump of all time. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. So try to pull it off.
Tell people what that's like. How fast do you have to hit the ramp to go over 400 feet? Is it 105 miles an hour, 110 miles an hour? How fast?
So I went 311 feet, going 85 miles an hour, and hammering the throttle about 90% or almost full off of the takeoff. So in order to go 425 feet, I believe it's 101 miles an hour, 105 is kind of what I think Harville's numbers were. I could be off by a little bit, but I believe you got to go over 100 miles an hour to go over 420 feet.
So can you
that,
describe it to people? Like Seth has
well,
described that to us. Imagine
okay,
somebody on the freeway on their in a car, and they're going 106 miles an hour on the freeway. Then you go to get off an off ramp, but that's your takeoff, and you're just gonna
Yeah,
send
so
it.
go
Yeah,
jump on a Harley or motorcycle. Go jump on a motorcycle or a street bike and go 100, and then hold that, and then picture hitting a ramp.
yeah,
That's
a ramp that you're just gonna leave the earth, and you
well,
just and you're gonna come back to earth at some point. That's pretty
and
nuts.
one thing that I think people like when Trigger and Link's ramp was at Larry's house, and they had that little practice setup before when Link tried to what Link do, the 250 record or whatever he did when and Trigger did the one
Link
record.
did about
The first
255, 256, something like that.
well
Yeah.
the first night of world records, and I remember like trying to walk up to the top of a long distance takeoff ramp, and just you know what I mean, like not a lot of people even I don't think have the concept of what it's like trying to walk up the length and the height of a long distance takeoff ramp. Is kind of sketchy, you know what I mean? And then at that hitting that at 80 90 miles an hour on top of that, you know.
yeah, no, it's pretty unreal, but it feels good. Like I feel like if there's one thing I excel at, it's bigger jumps. Never spent a ton of time doing like flip tricks or anything. Just, I mean, I like flips. I did that 190-foot flip in Narnia, which is the biggest. Tied West AG for the biggest dirt to dirt flip ever.
Uh-huh.
Mick Gnarls, Brian McCarty owns the biggest flip of all time. I think it's 220 foot or 210. The end on the pipe
McNarls.
7. But
Yeah.
as far as tricks go, I feel like they're fun and stuff, but I feel like if there's one dude right now for the job to go for the biggest overall world record, I would love to be that guy, and I'm not afraid to do it. And I think we have the right setup, so hopefully I get hired to do that. I'm 30, but I mean, we'll see. I think you could do distance jumping into your later years, but I'd like to get it done, while we have our landing out there in Reno.
There you go.
Yeah, right. I think
There
you
you
could
go.
do it. I think you're on the right track, man. I like the whole the flow you got going with it. You know what I mean? I think when Travis went and did that whole like Evil Knievel deal, it was just kind of wrong. You know what I mean? I love Travis and all, but to like, he dressed up like he looked like Evil Knievel to the T and all that stuff. I think that was kind of like, like you're doing this whole thing for the love of no matter what, you're gonna go on this mission. You know what I mean? Kind of like
Yeah.
Seth. He just said himself. Seth just had that thing in his blood that like he just wanted to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like
I
that
think
he is too.
I think Travis isn't afraid of anything, and I think he, endless skill, and I think he could do it. He proved he did it. I would love to get the opportunity to go and see if I can go bigger. But that's what the one thing with my land, that Raha land, or I call it Rawville, is
Uh-huh.
I'm not waiting around for the opportunity. I'm just gonna, break out my framing tools and bust it out myself. And now I'm already doing that. So I've been talking about doing this for like a year with this motorcycle jump, and now I've got the next one coming up where I'm gonna try to break Doug Danger's 150-foot record. And then I can even build that landing bigger and go for my own dirt bike record. So, I'm not waiting around for a big company to hire me to do it. I'm just gonna put it together myself if I have to.
Well, now you got us.
Anything we could do to help you got us 110%.
Yeah.
And you know what I was thinking? Here's what I'm thinking. Like, you know what I mean? The long distance record and all that, you can only go so far. Like, and everybody went to the fucking Robbie Knievel and look at the rocket car and this and that. I'm like, well, fuck, what the fuck is everybody looking at the rocket car? Can we just make a rocket car and do the whole fucking just go to the top game and let's go finish the rocket car, what Evil intended to do. That's the one he didn't finish. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I
Well,
I think
I'm not afraid of going for it, and I think I have the right team right now to pull it all off. With the math, I just I'll fly the bike, but yeah, man, I think anything's possible. So whatever the people want to see is what we'll give them, because that's the root of it. If they're ready to come and pay to buy a ticket and bring their family and friends out to watch it, then that's what we're gonna give them. So comment what you guys want to see, and we got the right guys to make it happen.
There you
I
go.
well, I'm stoked. This has been a long time coming to have a good rap with you and put our platform out there for you. And we've been kind of doing shit on other places around the world, and we came to this conclusion of like it's time to refresh America and look back at where we started. So the whole timing, we're kind of trying to throw a couple things out up our sleeve. So it'd be awesome to anything we could do to make your dreams happen, and maybe Night of World Records 3 goes down or whatever. Night of the fucking Super Raha.
Now you just have to build a wave park for Mr. Bruce Irons.
Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. We're
At
gonna build
Rahaville.
the Irons wave pool out of Rahaville, dude.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
That'd
man,
be
no,
sick.
I'm are that you guys are having me here and wanting to link up and stuff. I think we could pull some cool shit off. So yeah, man.
You know where we can
Time.
build the wave park?
I think it's gonna be awesome, my friend.
We could build a wave park at the casino. The Buffalo Bills with the roller coaster. Because I've been thinking, my buddy, the Terrible Herbs, they own the casino right next to it. I'm like, well, fuck, swap casinos, make a wave park, and then do the whole off-road theme. You could UTV. We'll put Raha Land there. With the Mint 400 goes out there. They actually have that truck track there, and make it a full-blown casino. Like outfit the roller coaster, make it look like trophy trucks. The whole the whole deal. So
It's a action sports, like arena for everything. Buffalo Thrills.
yeah, and then plus you get a wave machine there.
There you go.
Get a wave park, so everybody could fly to Vegas from around the world and go surfing at the same time.
No, that's actually a really good idea, because they do have the Mint 400. They have all the moto tracks, the truck tracks, the speedway. They got everything. Yeah, I'm all about
No, I got the whole thing all. I got the whole thing all laid out. Trust me. I got it all. Like you got Raw Man. It's like, yeah, we've been talking about shit like that forever. But yeah, no, I'm excited to actually try to hook up and get together with Metz too. It's been a while since we see Metz. You have to give him a what up when you see him.
Definitely will, man. Yeah, I'll give him a call. Fuck, I'll call him right now. Fuck, see if he answers.
Oh hell yeah!
Let's see.
We always think, which Metzger are we gonna get?
In December,
I've always known him to be a real badass, solid Metzger.
Oh yeah, he used to get a little windy once in a while.
He's
always been badass. Yeah, and then December 12th is your event.
Yeah, December
14th.
14th.
Saturday. Second Saturday of December.
Perfect.
Yeah, it'll
Metz
be good, man. Yeah, he's probably sleeping, or who knows, tattooing.
Yeah. Is he still up in Big Bear?
Yeah.
What's that?
Is he still up in Big Bear?
Yeah, I think he is. He went out East Coast, came back. I was thinking about getting a house with him and Jason Broski out on the lake, but he's got his little guy Maxton, so Maxton's got to have a school. So, he'll figure it out. And then winter comes, I got a bike for him. He knows that, so we'll go shred.
Yeah, awesome.
Well, hey, Colby, why don't we wrap it up with you? And anything that you want to tell the fans out there? You've already announced that you're going to do, your event on the 14th, and hopefully we can, show people how they can watch that, whether it's streaming or however, or even come out to your pad. So
Yeah, no, my
tell
spot's in.
people what you want to let them know.
Yeah, my spot's an hour from Bakersfield down the 58. It's a couple hours from Vegas, 20 minutes from Barstow, Palmdale, an hour. Anyways, it's if you guys want to come out and have some fun, the 14th of December, we're starting at 10 a.m. There's going to be a kids FMX demo, pro best whip with all the big names out there, pro demo on the whole line, and then I'll be doing that big jump, and I think we're going to have Cottonmouth Kings play. To be determined, but they pretty much told me they would. So, it's a family-friendly event. I think that's pretty much the only thing I got coming up other than X Games in June. And I'll keep firing out some YouTube street videos and stuff, and hopefully linking up with these guys from Crusty Demons to do some records.
Yeah, let's do an event at your place. Can if we come out and do an event and bring bands and camping, can people bring race trucks and get out of Raha land in trucks?
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, the whole community out there at Silver Lakes, there's those big lake communities right there. I think every single person has a UTV in their garage or at least a dirt bike. And yeah, it's pretty rad. They all watch my spot. They are out there as part of their loop now. They go by, have a beer, look at my stuff, and check in with me. Hey, all's good. And but yeah, it's killer out there, dude, for real. If you're trying to off road, that's where you want to go now. They've pushed us out of the cities and we're just keep moving out, but that's the next spot.
Nice.
Awesome. All right. Well, I can't wait to get out and check.
Yeah. That was awesome, man. Thanks for coming on our podcast.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Okay. Thank you.
We look forward to seeing you sometime soon, and watch out. Me and Dana are coming out with a trophy truck. You got to build us out of the ground jump.